In today's video we are going to talk about how much money I made selling digital products on Etsy. Hi, my name is Emese, and if we haven't met yet, I talk about creating and selling digital products on Etsy, and here on this channel I show you my struggles, my wins, my day-to-day running my Etsy digital products business. If you're interested in topics like this, hit the subscribe button, you will find lots of interesting videos here. So, today's topic, how much I made in 2022. I just ran the numbers and I have all the sales. And at the end of this video I will also tell you how much money I took home because I had to take a look in my accounting software. I will tell you how much I made in each month, and at the end we will sum it up and you will know how much I grossed in 2022, and after that how much is the net that I took home. And after that we are going to talk about some other business expenses as well, and after that I will tell you how much personally I took home from the business. I have my notes here and let's get started. Before I start talking about the actual numbers, I want to say a few things. And the first thing is that there is a very obvious pattern with these numbers, and that is a descending one in both shops. If you don't know, I have two digital products shops on Etsy. In one I sell printable planners and in the other one I sell editable templates. And in both of these shops there is a decline in the numbers, and a drastic one to be quite extra for that. I did not foresee this drop in the sales because, as you will see, at the beginning of the year the numbers were really good, and like really good. I even hit 5 figures in one of the earlier months. And as I mentioned it before, this is partially my fault because I had my head in the sand for a long time and I just pulled it out and I'm refocusing and re-strategizing. But what happened? I put all of my energy in the editable templates shop. I started doing that in the middle of 2021 and I poured all of my energy and time into the editable template shop, and because of this the printable planner shop suffered. But what happened with the template shop? Despite the fact that I was putting in lots of hours and lots of new products and lots of upgrades and everything, the competition became so fierce in that niche that I decided recently to move on and to refocus. In the upcoming videos I will talk about how I want to achieve that. But without any further ado, now let's talk about the numbers from 2022. So in January the printable planner shop made 900 euros and the editable template shop made 9,192 euros, which means that for the month of January I had sales of 10,092 euros, which is mind-blowing. This is my second 5-figure month on Etsy, I believe, and I was really happy back in January, and this big milestone, or second big milestone, was the reason that I started making YouTube videos, because I wanted to document this journey and to teach others as well. From now on, to make things simpler, I will refer to the printable planner shop as shop number 1 and to the editable template shop as shop number 2. So in February in shop number 1 I made 703 euros and in shop number 2 7,885 euros, which means we have a total of 8,588 euros. In March in the first shop we made 823 euros and in the second shop 8,359 euros with a grand total of 9,182 euros. This first quarter was really amazing. I was really pleased with the results. Now in the second quarter you will be able to see a small dip, but not very significant. In April in the first shop I made 808 euros and in the second shop 6,469 euros and a total of 7,292 euros. There is a dip, but not very significant compared to the previous months. Maybe there is a 10 to 15% dip, which did not concern me at the moment. Then in May, the first shop made 693 euros and the second shop 6,510 euros with a total of 7,203 euros. Again in the 7,000 range, still very good numbers. And now here comes June. The first shop made 519 euros and the second shop 5,061 euros. Now here is quite a bigger dip, because we had a total of 5,580 euros. Now, compared to January, that's a 50% drop, and I started to notice it and I started to pay attention to it. But I still did nothing at this point because I thought that everything with the new school year starting, the things would get back on track pretty soon. So I was not very concerned at this moment, but that was not the case at the end of the third quarter. So in July, the first shop made 630 euros and the second shop 4,668 euros with a total 5,298 euros. The numbers are very similar to the previous month, but still not as good as the beginning of the year. I thought that people would go on summer vacation and they were not as interested in buying this kind of products. Then August came and I made 573 euros in the first shop and 4,430 in the second one, with a grand total of 5,003 euros in that month. Now we are getting close to the 5,000 mark, and I was feeling the pressure at this point, to be clear and sure. Then in September I made 445 euros in the first shop and 3,458 in the other one, for a grand total of 3,903 euros. Now, I was getting scared at this point. This was the end of the third quarter, and I really started to think about changes and what could I do differently. I thought that with Black Friday I would have a really good month. It was not that case, as you will see, but nevertheless I continued on with the work. In October, the first shop made 474 euros and the second shop 3,738 euros, for a grand total for that month of 4,212. Now, in the month of November, the big Black Friday month that failed for me, I had sales going on in both shops, I think for 25 or 30%, something like that. But nevertheless, there were no big sale days, maybe a few better days than the other, but nothing extraordinary. In November, the first shop made 391 euros and the second shop 3,842 euros, for a grand total of 4,233 euros. That was Black Friday for me, nothing extraordinary. I have my notes here with me, so if you see me looking down, that's where I'm looking. And in the month of December, the first shop made 393 euros. At this point, the first shop was completely passive because I never logged into those shops, maybe twice a month or something like that to reply to some messages, but that was it. And in the second shop, I made 3,354 euros. For a grand total of December of 3,747 euros. Now, and what you all have been waiting for, the grand total for the year of 2022, these are gross sales, were 72,687 euros, which is roughly about the same amount in dollars as well. Due to the currency exchange, there is a very small difference between the euros and the dollars at this point. So, if we take the gross sales, those are not bad. If the sales would have kept up during the whole year as they did in the first quarter of the year, I would have made 6 figures. I would have took home 6 figures, but this is what it is. We move on and we re-strategize and we rethink what can be done to improve this situation. And just for fun, I calculated how much I paid in Etsy fees in 2022, and this number hurts a lot because I paid 21,244 euros in Etsy fees, which in itself is a smaller fortune. But without those fees, I know that I couldn't have made the 50,000 that I took home. Now, this is the number that was sent to my bank account. Out of this number, I still had a lot of expenses. And I don't know the exact number for 2022 yet for total expenses because my accountant haven't finalized the year yet, but it is around 30,000 euros for the whole year. And a note here that my company pays my salary, so I am a salaried employee in my company, and I also have another employee and some contractors who are working for me, and I am also paying for my car from the company account. So those are counted as expenses from the company, but that is an income for me as well. But other than the expenses that I have just talked about, I took home approximately 24,000 euros as profit, which is not bad, but not as good as the previous 2 years. And due to the fact that the numbers dropped so much, it scared the pants off of me, and I re-strategized and I started working really hard in creating new products, and more shops and new strategies and all that jazz. So if you would like to know how I plan to turn this shop around, or these shops around, keep watching, subscribe to the channel, because I will be documenting the whole journey. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope that these kinds of videos motivate you and give you hope that you can do it too. I'm not one of those I made $1 million last year in my print-on-demand stores, although I want to try print-on-demand this year, but we will see later on the year. But I'm not one of those people who made miraculous amounts of money from one month to another. I built this business up from the ground very slowly. My first year on Etsy I made about 1,500 euros or something like that, and I was able to scale it up to this level during 5 to 6 years, which I think is a very sustainable and a very good pace for growth for small businesses. And thank you again for being here with me. And if you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell and hit the like button, because it gives a big boost in the YouTube algorithm for me. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!